Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. This guy's a public official open to scrutiny. This man's a snake. I told you yesterday, because I don't get out in front of stories when I don't know the answers, I try to give you both sides, that I wasn't sure who leaked the tape. And I was candid about it yesterday. Was I not, Joe? Because I thought the tape was so damaging to Raffensperger and his lawyer that I wasn't honestly sure who leaked the tape. Was it the Trump team or Raffensperger? Now it's become clear, because Raffensperger thought he had something on Donald Trump, President Trump in the tape, that he leaked it. Check out this video of Secretary of State from Georgia, Brad Raffensperger, on with some local news outlet where I didn't know this. I didn't know when you have a conversation that's supposed to be confidential with a state official about disputed election results, that you had to agree with them not to publish the conversation to the media. Joe, do you know that? When we have a... Just Armacost, just quick. Producer Joe, this is very important for the listening audience here. This is critical. When I talk to you on the phone about the show, do we have to make an agreement beforehand that I won't publish our conversation to media people if you or I say something that's kind of damaging? Do we do that? Just checking.
No, maybe we.
No, we don't.
It, but no.
Okay. Thank you. I'm just checking.
Yeah.
I'm just checking.
Got it.
So there's no that we don't need, because Joe and I understand that when we talk on the phone, because
Right.
Joe's not a snake and neither am I, that it's a conversation
Right.
between Dan and Joe, and it's not meant for the Washington Post. Ladies and gentlemen, don't call Brad Raffensperger. No, I'm dead serious. Do not call this guy ever, because if you don't have an agreement beforehand that he won't publish it to the Washington Post, apparently it's open season. Listen to this snake try to defend himself while he kind of implicitly acknowledges that his office leaked the tape. Check this out.
If the president hadn't tweeted something that was false, would we have ever heard that call recording?
No, it was a private conversation as far as I was concerned. And he broke privacy when he put out a tweet, but then his tweet was false.
Was there any agreement that this call was not going to be recorded or would be kept confidential?
No, there was no agreement, and we didn't know what the purpose of the call really was. We assumed it was about the November election, really Wednesday. If President Trump wouldn't have tweeted out anything and would have stayed silent, we would have stayed silent as well. And that would have just been a conversation between him and I, man to man, and that would have been just fine with us. But he's the one that couldn't, had to put it out on Twitter. And so if you're going to put out stuff that we don't believe is true, then we will respond in kind.
Do you believe this guy? If there were, this may be the greatest self-own. For those of you not on social media, self-own is when you say something you think is like really laudatory about yourself. Oh my God. And really you make yourself look like a buffoon. Brad Raffensperger is now the king of the self-own. He thinks this interview makes him look good. So just to be clear, if you talk to Brad Raffensperger and there's a dispute about what was said in the conversation, if you don't stay silent, they're going to the Washington Post and putting it out there. Just to be clear, in case you ever have a conversation with Raffensperger again. Hey, Joe, here's what I'm doing. I don't know about you, but tell me if you agree with this approach. If you are any human being having a conversation with this snake, Raffensperger, he's a public official. This man is open to scrutiny, okay? He's the Secretary of State of Georgia. If you have any dispute with him, I'd have to frisk him first. Ask him. You don't want to be accused of like assault by Raffensperger, obviously. But I would ask him, sir, can I pat you down first? For what? Any conversation. Is he recording this? Is he going to give it to the Washington Post? After you're done patting him down. And by the way, if you want to know how to pat people down, I was an instructor in our academy. What you do is you don't do the actual pat. What you want to do is you want to like move and grasp to make sure you see, because you can miss things on a pat. There could be a wire. Remember the old, what were they called? The Nagra recording devices for you old-time federal agents out there. That's before we had all this fancy recording. You just put it on a phone now. I would ask for his phone, put it on airplane mode and power it down. Also, I would ask him to wear a bathing suit and talk to him in a swimming pool in case he's hiding a device in the sensitive areas you can't pat down, Joe. And I would also have a lawyer draw up an ironclad NDA and an agreement to make sure any conversation with Raffensperger, because if you don't stay silent, apparently he can record and put anything out there. What do you think, Joe? You think that would cover it? So
I would hope so.
the run and the grasp and run pat down, the frisk to make sure he doesn't have a device. Ask him to go in a bathing suit and talk to him in a pool. Waist up, it's okay, so he's not hiding anything down there. Make sure his phone is in airplane mode and shut off. And then make sure with Raffensperger as well, you get an ironclad NDA. Because when you talk to Raffensperger, he apparently believes if you don't stay silent and shut your pie hole, that this snake from Georgia, he can just leak the conversation. What an absolute buffoon of the highest order.
You just heard Dan Bongino.